सद्गुरु श्री गजानन महाराज की जय. Namaskar. I am Atul Kokardekar. I feel blessed to present the English Pothi of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. With Maharaj's blessings, I hereby start. Sadguru Shri Gajanan Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Jai to you, the most auspicious one. Jai to the protector of devotees. Jai to God blue as a tamal leaf and the savior of the downtrodden. You killed Hiranyakashipu, enemy of good people, by emerging out of a pillar to protect Prahlad. You had then a peerless form with fierce teeth and a violent jaw, mane flowing on the neck and eyes red aglow, looking as if it was burning the earth below, and the entire universe was alight with his ferocious exterior. But devotees were not scared. They were like cubs playing in the lap of tiger. Looking at you, even goddess Lakshmi did not dare to be in your vicinity. Though the devotees could touch your feet, O Lakshmika, loving your devotees, you fulfill their needs, never saying no to them. The writer bows down to you to make him fearless. Many devotees of the sun stayed in Akola town, whom he visited frequently on his own. They were Bapu Krishna of Chapadgaon, Kashinath, Jijabai Pandit, Bachulal, son of Gundalal, and many others of the vicinity. Once when he was staying at the Khatau mills, Vishnusa of Malkapur wanted to bring the Sant to his city. He requested Bhaskar to arrange for this trip. This was the same Bhaskar of Khadgaon who attained Nirvana. He used to look after the son's comforts and needs. Vishnusa depended on Bhaskar for the son's blessings. Bhaskar requested Maharaj to visit Malkapur as Vishnusa had invited him on this tour. The son said, "Don't force me. I don't want to go. You will regret it if you insist. If a rope is stretched too much, it breaks. I don't desire to get away from this place. So do not bother me for God's sake." Bhaskar replied, "Whatever you say, please visit Malkapur for Vishnusa's sake. I, your most humble devotee, have promised him that you will be in his home. Your refusal is shocking to me. Please honor my promise. Let us go to Malkapur." A persistent Bhaskar brought Shri Gajanan to the Akola railway station. On Bhaskar's request, the station master got a compartment vacated for Shri Gajanan Maharaj, who did not say anything or move at all. He was quiet until the departure of the train. When the bell rang for the train to start, unnoticed, he moved on and entered the ladies' compartment. The sight of a naked son scared the woman. They immediately informed the policeman, who came to drag him out of the compartment. They said, "Oh, you nude, have you no sense? How did you enter the ladies' compartment?" With a jerk, the son freed his hand without fear and continued to sit there in spite of the officers. They now brought the station master in the picture. When he saw the son sitting here, he requested the police to let him be there, as he was a great sant unlikely to commit any offense. The police officer said he had sent a telegram to higher ups and there was nothing more in his hand, so he will do whatever he thinks. The station master took off his hat as a mark of respect and requested the son to come out of the compartment. He did it to respect the law. A case was launched against Maharaj, which came for hearing in the court of Shri Chathar. He fixed the hearings at Shegaon and stayed at the rest house while the case was on. Venkatrao Desai of Akola was there too. He had some work to be attended to. Hearing of the announcement of the case, Lot of people gathered at the place. Desai then asked Jathar what was the case about and why it has attracted such a crowd. Jathar was surprised at Desai's ignorance and said that the case was against Sri Gajanan for moving bare bodies in the community. Desai folded his hand and said to the authority, "This is an improper case. Sri Gajanan is a great son, an incarnation of a god, a divine person, a holy man with no material intention. He is a yogi with no bondage at all, a yogi of yogis respected by all. The police have erred in prosecuting the sant. Please withdraw the case and correct the mistake." Jathar replied that the police should have been discreet, but now under the law his hands are tied. He then ordered his clerk to get the son. To bring him there, a police officer was sent. The officer asked him to go as stated and threatened to take him forcibly if he resisted. Maharaj refused to budge an inch and asked the officer to try and take him by his might. Maharaj with his hand caught hand of the constable and caught it so tight that his blood flow was hindered. The constable was uncomfortable with pain. Since he did not return in time, Venkatrao Desai was sent. Jathar asked the crowd to disperse and not stand around. When Desai reached the site, he heard of the constable's split. He asked the devotees to clothe Maharaj. They did, but he threw away the lot. He went bare to the court where he was offered a seat. Sri Jathar said, "It is improper to go naked on the street. It is against the law. I request you not to go bare and uncovered." Sri Maharaj replied, "How are you concerned? Now fill up my pipe and don't be bothered." Hearing this, Sri Jathar melted down and realized that Sant was different from the Mundane crowd. He compared the sun to Vrishabh Dev of Bhagavati, Sri Shankaracharya, and called him an incarnation of Vamdevji. He saw the sun's blissful attitude and realized his state of Santu. Sri Jathar then thought a moment and decided not to charge him with any offense. Fire cannot be void of very element. It needs restrictions as dawn in a store. It may otherwise burn the house. It can stand to no blame in such a case. Likewise is the bareness of the sun. His disciples are guilty for his state, guilty of not draping him in the sheath of cloths. Sri Jathar ordered that basically the sant is a liberated soul. His proper upkeep was Bhaskar's role. He neglected his duty and was fined ₹5 as a penalty. Maharaj, on hearing the order, asked Bhaskar to desist from doing things against his will in future. Devotees decided to avoid train journey for the son and arranged to get a bullock cart for him instead. Once he came to Akola at Bapural's place, a Muslim Sant, Mehtab Shah of Kurum, was keen on meeting the Sant. He stayed at Kurum in Murtijapur Taluka and had requested Bapurao to call him during the Sant's next visit. Bapurao sent a messenger to get Mehtab Shah. At this time, he had already started for the Akola station. The messenger met him on the way. Mehtab asked him to get in the cart on the road. Look how a son knows the mind of the other son. They indeed are omnipotent. With him, Mehtab Shah had a few devotees. They all shared Bapurao's facilities. Sri Gajanan came to Mehtab's room next morning. Pulling his hair, he gave Mehtab a good beating. This was to make him understand that roughness of a people of his religion was a hindrance in his self-realization. Maharaj wanted Mehtab Shah to stay away from the millet to justify his name in life. Maharaj, by thrashing him, hinted that he wasn't free from it. Sons understand each other's mind. Mehtab was happy to get a hint. When Mehtab was getting the beating, his devotees got agitated. Mehtab Shah asked them to keep quiet and go back to Kurum in their interest. Except Sheikh Kadu, all others left. Seth Bachulal invited the son for meals the next day. On reaching his place, Maharaj did not descend from the buggy and asked the driver to take it back. Everyone was surprised at this action, as he had already accepted the invitation. Someone suggested that it may be because Mehtab was not invited, so they went and invited Mehtab. They arrived in the same buggy to Bachulal's house. The son shifted from the temple to the theatre to be with Mehtab Shah, who stayed there. After the meals, Mehtab Shah told his disciples to get him a ticket to Punjab, as he desired to go there. Sheikh Kadu said, "The mosque at Kurum is half built. You may go when the construction is complete." Mehtab Shah's reply was unique. Mehtab said, "I got orders from Maharaj for going back to Punjab. I have thus proceeded. The construction of mosque will be completed with the grace of Sri Gajanan. Sons do not believe in difference of religion. To them all are equal. Any extra importance to mosaic and the religion will harm your persistence. Temples and mosques are built of same material. To fight for their different shape is unreasonable. Do you mean to say that Muslims belong to God and the Hindus are phantoms? Think wisely in the interest of humanity. Both religions are created by the same divinity. One should love his own religion, but also respect another religious convictions. Peace and happiness will reside. If you do not think this way, now you will go back to Punjab. The mosque will be built by Gajanan Maharaj. Mehtab Shah went away never to return. Both Hindus and Muslims should respect his words. Though the son thrashed Mehtab Shah, there was love in his heart. Maharaj didn't take his meals without Mehtab, a clear indication that there was no malice at all. At Bapuraj's place, his wife suffered a queer spell. It was Bhanamati, a strange happenings as they seemed to be. At one moment she would get kumku on her forehead, at the next a rope around her neck. At times her clothes would glow with fire, and dark scars on her back appear. Her clothes spread for drying would catch fire. Her health was falling. With such mysterious and bewildering happenings, she lost her taste for food, resulting in her becoming very weak. Bapuraj spent a lot to cure the ill. With no result at last, he surrendered to Maharaj. He addressed the sant with folded hands. "Maharaj, my wife is suffering from Bhanamati. I have tried my best to cure her from this malady. My efforts have failed miserably. How can Bhanamati enter where you are present? How can a fox come and howl in a lion's den? How can a stench exist where musk prevails?" Hearing this, Maharaj glanced at Bapu's wife, and the illness vanished the next moment from her life. Once in his wanderings, Maharaj reached Akot to meet Narsingji, his brother saint. There was a well near the monastery. Maharaj sat on the parapet with legs hanging inside loosely. He was constantly looking inside. People watching him looked surprised. Narsingji asked him the reason for this, to which the sant replied, "I see Godavari Bhagirathi and Yamuna in the well. I want to find out which others dwell. You get their waters for bath every day. Why should I be denied the pleasure anyway? These rivers must come out and give me a bath today, or else I am not leaving this place. Think as you may, people who heard him thought he was crazy, for the possibility was hazy. But the well water gushed out in a moment. Like a fountain, it poured down on the sun. He called upon the people to join the bath in the holy waters of Ganga, Yamuna, and Godavari, and many other rivers all across. Believers joined him in enjoying the shower. The fountain then subsided to the water's original level. Sant returned to Shegao after meeting Narsingji Maharaj. May this treatise bring happiness to the devotees. Sadguru Shri Gajanan Maharaj ki jai. This English pothi was translated by Shri Shankar Pandit. Please share this video so that maximum devotees can avail Maharaj's blessings.